Hey Hoover, it's Deanne Love here. Welcome to day 16 of our 30 days in flow. Today's technique or today's theme is to deepen. Each day we can really bring in our own understanding and our own perspective of our hooping, of our body, of our movement. The 4 tricks that we're going to flow together today, I'm going to give variations of them. So it is a linear isolation, a twister, a forwards weave, and then a 2-hand isolation. And you may already know those, but I'm going to share some different practices, but you could do this in multiple ways. We are going to do a linear isolation behind our back today. So we have a front plane, a back plane, and 2 side planes, left and right plane. And so what we're going to do to start off is to have our hoop in our back plane. Our hoop is up framing our body and your hand will be down at about 6 o'clock. And to do this, what you're going to do is extend your arm in this back line. So this is a great one that you can do with 2 hoops. So what happens is you're going to take your hoop out to a full extent, or your arm and your hoop out, 1 spin and back in. Then eventually what you're going to gently do is wave your hand a little bit higher, but in the beginning reach long, 1 circle, bring it back in. Notice that the circle, the hoop is going away from my body in the direction further away, not down, so over the top. So pop out and in, out and in. Okay, is your arm tired already? Now what we're going to do is we want to bring the hoop to the front plane. So after we go out and in, weave the hoop to the front plane. Now, in one of the earlier tutorials, we did a twister like this. We're actually going to do a variation, which we would probably call a palm spin, but we're going to let go. This is really fun. If you can't do this because you have beautiful light fittings or things, that you can wait until to practice this when you're outside. So the variation would be to do the bent elbow twister. So you're going to bring the hoop in front and twist, 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 thumb down. So we lead thumb up. When you get to your wrist is facing like your forehead probably, then you're going to twist your thumb towards you, keep twisting, and then scooch down. So that would be one variation. But we can also let go on the way around. So the way to do that is to open up your hand, and make a plate or a shelf for your hoop. Now, if you don't have enough momentum, then the hoop won't do spins like rotations on the plate. But what you want to imagine is that the point where your hoop is connecting with your hand, that is where your hoop is going to spin on your hand. I know it's impossible. I should have got a smaller hoop. So just to show you that, you don't need a small hoop for this. So when you get to just kind of above your head, you're still going to do that thumb towards you rotation, but if you can, you're going to gently push your palm up, open your fingers. Really important that you have trust here. See, we're deepening our trust in ourselves today. Now, it's okay if the hoop spins off, and you might have other ways of doing these. You might play around with different ways, but for this tutorial, we're going to spin towards, and then we want to catch the hoop. So I'm going to catch where I left off. Also, twister like this, twister around if you like. So linear isolation, palm spin or twister, and now we need to get into a forwards weave. But my hand is in the wrong position to do that. Like, I can't, a forwards weave is this. I could just simply flip over. So that's one way to do it. So for example, if your hand is on the top, and so the theme of deepening is really cool today, because this actually deepens our understanding of the pathways that you can make. Sometimes in hooping, your hand, your body, your hoop is not in the right place. Like, it feels awkward, and you'll be like, how do I get to, I feel like my intuition, my knowing, my inner wisdom wants to do this trick, or I want to practice this trick, but I can't flow into it. And this is a cool example of that. So it's like I've done this really cool twister and my hand's on the outside, but to do a weave, generally, there's a lot of different weaves, I want to start with my hand on the inside and my hoop down. So yes, you can, let's say your hoop lands in front of you, you can simply turn and bring your hand on the inside like this. So all that would mean is if it's in your right hand, you can turn to your left. Again, twist your hoop and you'll notice now your hand is on the inside. You can bring it up and take it into a weave. Totally cool. Love it. Yes. So you can make it all funky in your style. Or if you want to, you can do a thumb forefinger transition. So what that means is if your hand is on an outside grip and your thumb is on the inside, if you give your hoop some momentum and then you take your forefingers on the inside, you can keep the hoop rotating to drop it down, and then you can go into this crisscross weave formation. So sometimes your hoop just needs like it can come into this dead stop and it's a weight and you're like, oh, I don't really know what to do next, so it feels a bit weird. Oh, okay, now I go. There's always a way for you to play. You could even be like, okay, I'm going to do something. There's no like actual rules. You can make things up. Or you can give it some momentum, thumb, forefinger. So give that a little go. I don't know if you can see here. So my thumb is down in. I have some tutorials on this, but my thumb is down in and I give the hoop a spin and then I'm going to put my forefingers in. And that can feel a little bit weird. It's like you feel like you're reaching into it. But so where your thumb is, you're going to bring your forefingers and then, so essentially you're going from like an L to a handshake, L to a handshake. But you don't have to think it through that much. Now that might make you feel too. So what that unlocks is that then you might feel other pathways. So you might feel like going backwards weave, or you might feel like going forwards weave, deepening our understanding. Our last trick is to do a two-hand isolation. And we've been doing a lot of these inside isolations, so let's try something different. From this forwards weave, if you're in your right hand, the next time you bring your hoop to your right side, we are going to do a two-hand leading with the pinky isolation. So if you're in your left hand, same rules apply. When the hoop comes to the left side, I'll show you how to do it. So weaving. When you've finished, your hoop is on the same side as your arm, right? So you can keep it on your side and do this like really cute on the side, or you can turn towards your hoop, whatever way. This is a beautiful frame. So what you're going to do is the hand that was just doing the weaving, stop. Two hands together, again on your side or turn towards it. And now what you're going to do is one hand is going to ghost and then the other hand is going to do the actual work. But it looks like both hands are going at the same time. I hope. It's hard to explain and do it like neatly at the same time. But so I'm going to keep my ghosting hand open for this first one. So what happens is you want both of your hands, so if they're going from 6 o'clock, you want them both to go out and meet at their 3 and 9 points. And then when it gets to that point there, you're going to do a little bit of tension to push away, roll over, and then ghosting hand, working hand is going to come meet together. And from there you can go wherever you like. So what that looks like is ghosting hand, roll over. This will be in knot. So kind of what is happening is if you were doing a right hand isolation, you would get to this certain point where you can't go any further and your hand would roll over and you would come up to 12, right? But we're going to do that with two hands. So it doesn't matter which hand ghosts, and by ghost I mean it looks like it's doing exactly the same as the other hand, but really what's happening is this one hand is doing the driving, the trick. So you want them both to try to get to the 3 and 9 point at the same time, roll over and try to get to 12 at the same time. And you can practice that in the mirror. You can do that with your shadow. You can record yourself, whatever feels good. So again, from a weave, and we stop and go straight in to our isolation. One hand is doing the trick. The other hand is coming along with it. They roll over at the same time. Thumbs come together. No, pinkies come together. Let's do that one more time. Thumbs are together. Roll over. Pinkies come together. Okay, we got it. All right. How are you feeling? Behind the back pop. Bring to the front twister variation. Your palm spin variation if you like. And then transition. Weave. Two-hand isolation. Smooth it out. Pop. Your way, however you want to. Forwards weave. Two-hand isolation. You can move into whatever feels good for you. Let's play. Let's deepen this practice. Yes, yes, yes. Yourself as much time as you need to play that through. Take yourself over to learn.hooplovers.tv for all of the prompts and the inspo and the playlist and today's technique. Big hoop love. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Mwah.